Hey, yes, you. I have found the place where the wisdom speaks to us. Come with me, I will show you. Oh, we arrived. Yeah, hello people, Cybernytez here. Today I want to talk about why World of Warcraft PvP is slowly dying out. I have it all written down because it was too much, so let's start. Number 1. There is no incentive for PvE players to play PvP at all, which results in a massive loss of a ground player base at low to mid-tier ratings. As an example for this, you can check how many people got Gladiator in expansions where PvP gear mattered, also in PvE, like in BFA. There were so much more people playing every aspect of the game, not just 80% of the player base PvE and nothing else, and 20% PvP and nothing else. Surely people wanted to do only what they like, but this way it does way more harm to one side, and that is obviously the PvP side. This is the most important factor why PvP is slowly dying out. Every point after this is just a side effect of this first point. Number 2. Low participation, and because of this low participation you get even less participation as a result over time. Also, the rating/MMR deflates to a point where casuals feel they can't get anywhere, because they actually can't get anywhere. The rank 1/Gladiator players are blocking the lower ratings. In Dragonflight Season 2, it took weeks over weeks for rank 1 players to get their Gladiator mounts. No one who got Gladiator last season or a few seasons before and now knows they can't even come close to Gladiator will even play. At least not this bracket. It's a downward spiral on every level. People who always got their PvP tier sets or duelists can't get to their normal rating anymore, which obviously demotivates everyone. People just quit. Only a few stay, and that are mostly hardcore PvPers, rank 1/Gladiator players, so these are the only people keeping PvP alive for now. It's a very tough world in PvP right now for any casual player. Number 3. Solo Shuffle. Solo Shuffle was a great idea. I personally wanted it to be implemented because I myself was tired to sit in LFG for hours. The last 2 seasons of Shadowlands, the first 2 weren't that bad. There was still a bit participation, but it got worse after that real quick. And the reason for that was also no incentive for PvEers to play PvP at all. I sat in LFG for literal hours to find partners to do 2s or 3s. It was so boring that obviously people just quitted PvP. So I craved a bracket where you could just queue it up alone and it would be rated. It was a nice dream. And then they actually implemented it into the game. Little did I know what it would be like and what it would do to the other PvP brackets. It actually did more harm to PvP than anything else. But the reason for this is not necessarily the mode itself. Like I said, PvP needs more casuals and PvEers to play. It needs to be revived. The reason why Shuffle did more harm than good is it took away all the remaining casuals PvPers and even a large portion of mid-tier to gladiator/rank 1 players as well from the normal PvP brackets like 2s, 3s, rated battlegrounds. Since you get all the PvP rewards from Shuffle as well, besides Gladiator and the Gladiator mount, the 3's rank 1 title, nobody has to do anything else than Shuffles anymore. You get good Hana/Conquest, you get your 1800 tier sets, you get your 2100 achievement and the weapon enchant, you get a 2400 elite achievement and weapon appearances, and on top of all that you also can get a legend title with a banner, and if you are one of the best in that bracket, even a specific rank 1 title. You get so much in Shuffle, nobody cares to do normal 2s or 3s at all, and since all the factors come together and let die out 2s, 3s, the normal ladders are ultra deflated, people know they can't get anywhere in these brackets, so they are actually even forced now to play Shuffle. Number 4. The huge number difference between DPS and healers. This is just a specific problem that there are obviously way less healers and DPS players in the game, but it increases the participation problem even further. I don't want to get into this problem too deep and why so few people play healers, but there are obviously reasons for that. Maybe we talk another time about that. It just creates longer queue times for DPS, especially for solo Shuffle, since most of the remaining people who play PvP just queue solo Shuffle. Now, how could we possibly solve all these problems? Number 1. Make PvP gear meta again. It should matter for PvEers to have PvP gear. It even doesn't have to be all pieces. It could be some pieces that are available after different ratings, maybe. They also don't need to be overpowered, it would be enough if they are slightly better than some PvE gear that's available from doing higher PvE content, like for example Mythic plus 15/20 keys or heroic raids. The fine-tuning of that could easily be figured out by Blizzard if they wanted. As a return to not get the outrage of PvEers, they could make some PvE gear like trinkets or some weapons or anything be good for PvP as well. The idea of completely separate PvP and PvE gear-wise failed. It just created the beginning of the slow perish of PvP. I think we can all agree that cannot be the answer if you like the game, and PvP was always part of the game. Just look at Classic. The game worked out so much better. You could even use legendaries for PvP and they weren't even nerfed or anything. Obviously, there weren't arenas, but just saying that the game was so much more fun for people to get these items and also be able to use them in every aspect of the game. I don't say make retail like Classic again, but there could be other solutions to make PvP feel rewarding for everyone. I personally actually would have nothing against the idea to completely remove PvP gear and make everything just usable everywhere, but that would obviously create huge balancing problems. As a final word, if they continue with separating PvP and PvE gear, they absolutely need to either make PvP gear worse to get by PvEers, at least some pieces, or they need other good incentives for people to get back into PvP. I doubt that the last would have a great impact. Number 2. If they actually get more people to play PvP again somehow, they need to rework the rewards of all brackets. Every bracket should have their own incentives to play them. Like I said, the other brackets are currently almost dead because of the low participation overall, what creates a deflation and a downward spiral, and because most of the remaining PvP players are just queuing solo shuffle. Since you get almost every PvP reward out of solo shuffle, there's little to none incentive to play any other bracket. That's the reason we see the downfall of all other brackets. 2v2, 3v3 and rated battlegrounds are not worth over shuffle. Except if you want the gladiator title, 3v3 rank 1 title, the gladiator mount or an rated battleground title. To revive all the other brackets, they need to rework all the rewards. Just as an idea, they could remove the tier set rewards, weapon enchant rewards from solo shuffle. Maybe add something else to these ratings, like a pet or a toy. I don't know. Blizzard could figure that out themselves. But to have access to almost everything through solo shuffle is just harmful to all other brackets, since you can just solo queue it and obviously the participation of all other brackets go down rapidly. Number 3. Creating more solo queue modes will have a zero effect. If anything, they will even further worsen the situation. Reworking the rating system will also have zero effect. There will not be more PvP players because the rating system changes. It's all a matter of how the game itself encourages people to play PvP, and from that you can do even more. Like for example special rewards for every bracket. There are also a ton of collectors in the game, or people that want to have some specific rewards that they like. Things like that could also boost the participation. So these were my thoughts about this problem, and it's looking grim for PvP at the moment. I haven't even gone into other things like thinning out the player base by recycling past expansions. It's obvious that the existence of multiple versions of the game also leads to people missing in retail. I hope I opened some eyes, and I would appreciate some likes as well. Let's not lose all hope. I will continue to play the game, of course, until the last PvPer faces me in a Mark Gora. Good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are. Cyber out.